What's happening, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Desert Oasis Room. Do you know who this guy is? It's our friend Nick. And we're obviously not inside the Desert Oasis Room today. We are inside Savage Seas.
Welcome.
What a spectacular spot. And I can't wait to show you guys. There's a lot to cover. So we're going to get started right now. We're going to have Nick talk about his collection. We're going to have Nick talk about how he built this place, how long it took for him to build this place when he got started and all that stuff. And we're going to take you along with us. All right. What's happening, Nick?
What's up?
Beautiful space, man.
Thank you.
I don't even know where to start. You have so much to look at. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about, where do we start? Let's talk about, I want to start with, let's talk about this. When did you first build the space?
Sure. We are, like many people, we are pandemic tiki builders. This kind of came together. We got the house in late November of 2019, and world shuts down in March. And we started this project in July. So basically, contractors came and did some of the big stuff, like these here. Like the bar top, the cabinets, and then everything else in here. If tikifying is a word, like the tikification of it. This was done by a lot of you guys know Echo Island Tiki, Nick Petty. He kind of brought our vision to life here, and him and I did pretty much everything. And he taught me the best money I spent on the bar was hiring Nick, because he taught me basically everything I know about tiki builds. And so I've been able to become self-sufficient since then. I wasn't super handy. I mean, everybody comes in here and sees like a lot of the stuff that I've built myself, and they're like, dude, are you like, super? I was like, no, dude, I didn't touch a drill maybe 10 times in my life before I started this project with Nick. But it kind of just, it grew from there. The decor was pretty sparse because we were living in an apartment in Hollywood before we got this place. So we'd always been into tiki, but we couldn't collect. So we had like a few mugs here and there, like it tucked in a kitchen cabinet. But other than that, once we got this structure, we saw it here, and it was basically like a shed with electrical.
What was it before? What was in here?
Yeah, I think it was like a yoga studio, because there was all this like Mandarin Chinese calligraphy on the wall, and I like Google translated it, and it said like relax and calm, and so I figured it had to be something like that.
Yoga or meditation or just some kind of a wellness space.
Or I don't know, maybe it just somebody practicing writing Chinese calligraphy. Calligraphy, who knows? And then one neighbor said that he thought at one time it was a music studio, but who knows? It didn't have plumbing. There was like remnants of it having plumbing at one time, but we didn't, it wasn't here when we got it. So we had to put all that in.
So you couldn't tap into what was there?
No.
What about electrical? Were you able
electrical, electrical. I had to add another circuit, obviously, because I think there's like 112 different bulbs in here right now.
Wow.
Yeah. All LEDs, so it's a little bit, it's less than incandescent, but still it's a lot.
Yeah. That is a lot. I only have maybe 50 in mine.
Yeah.
And I say only, it sounds like a lot, right? For a tiki person, that's considering all the lamps and all that stuff,
So people ask me all the time, like, what's my advice to a tiki builder? Like, if you're getting started on a project, think what the craziest number of outlets you could have in your head. Double that.
Yeah.
That you need that many.
Yeah.
And have them up in the ceiling. I've got a bunch tucked up in the ceiling in different spots.
Great advice.
Just because I don't want to I don't have any daisy chained extension cords, because I'm so paranoid about fire.
So am I. I have a no fire rule in the Desert Oasis Room, so no flamingdrinks. And
I do.
Do you do that?
Oh,
so you know what? I saw your Christmas pop up, and you were doing drinks with dry ice.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was genius, because I thought, you're going to get the same visual effect without the danger of fire.
Oh, well, we up the danger.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this. Where is it? Hang on here. This little guy I just got. It's like it's called a flaresol. It's made specifically for this.
Yeah.
I don't like. This is a hot take. I hate the whole cinnamon pour.
Yeah.
Because A, I don't want a mound of cinnamon on my bar, and B, it totally changes
the drink. Yeah.
So I was looking for ways. This is actually way easier to control too. So I can little flame, little fireball, whatever, ooh ah, and then you know, I don't have to clean up.
Yeah. Well, my bar has thatch right over it.
Oh yeah.
So all it takes is a spark to just put that aflame, and then you know, the whole room is just bamboo and matting. So.
I tell people, like, when I ever do fire drinks here, I like blow it out immediately.
Yeah. Ironically, the only time I had fire in a drink was when it was Nick Petty's birthday.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it actually wasn't a drink. Now that I think about it, he was bartending. We had just did this like little inland empire crawl. My bar was one of the stops, which I got to have you over sometime.
Yeah, for sure. We did one over here with the home bars over here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
There's a couple of guys, a few Scoundrels Landing, Holly Hideaway, and Mile High Club. They're all over here.
All bars I've been trying to get into also to do one of these. But it was Nick's birthday. Cool. And so it wasn't actually fire in a drink, but we brought in like a little cupcake or something with his, it might have been a cookie, but we had a little candle on it, you know, and I was even nervous about that. So he blew it out right away, and, you know, I've got a fire extinguisher in my bathroom.
I've got one here.
Yeah, so.
I've got two, actually, one in there and one in here.
Yeah, so I'm going to add to, when you start a project, my biggest piece of advice is to, and yours is a great piece of advice, by the way. Mine is put in your plumbing and your electrical first. You already knew that. But a lot of people get excited and they start building the room, and they don't think about that until afterwards. And then they're trying to hide extension cords and all that kind of stuff. And they're getting on step stools and plugging in each and every single lamp. You know, so I put a grid on my ceiling, which is attached to, I tapped it off of a switched outlet. So when I hit the switch on the wall, it switches off the whole ceiling, off and on. So,
nice. Yeah, I've got a few. I mean, it's not one switch, but I also have a bunch of smart outlets where I control it with an app on my phone. Oh,
perfect.
And then a lot of these lights, like, they're all on smart bulbs, so I can change the color on
very cool.
Almost all of them. So, like, when we did Christmas in here, there was a lot more red and green.
Right.
And then when it's Halloween, there's way more orange. But yeah, if you notice, though, everybody has their own little things. There's no blue lights. I don't want any blue light.
Oh, dude, I love it.
I want it to feel very warm in here, and I want it to be, I don't know if cozy's the word. I don't feel right saying cozy, but
I think cozy's
like a warm feel.
I think cozy's kind of accurate for the space. I mean, you've created a nice, inviting, cozy, warm space here.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll get a little bit of blue from the water and the
I get it.
Portholes, but no blue lights in here.
So I have a philosophy on that too. My philosophy is, and I think I have one LED bulb. I think actually two. One in the main light, which is in the center of my room, and one over the bar, so that it gives me more light than an incandescent. But they're a soft yellow, so they don't look LED. And my philosophy is, if we're all copying, or if we're all trying to copy Don and Vic, none of them had LED bulbs, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, so that's where I'm coming from on that. But let's talk about your tikis, because I'm looking at this Papua New Guinea stuff here.
Yep.
And I love I'm going to put in air quotes, authentic look of these guys, because this is the kind of stuff that Trader Vic's was putting in his restaurants.
Yeah. I was, before I realized that I liked Papua New Guinea, I was like, always found myself drawn to it, and I just didn't know what it was. This is before, the bar ever existed and everything like that. So then as I started collecting, I went down the rabbit hole and started learning about, all the different tribes, Sepik, and all that kind of stuff. So it's all tourist stuff, but again, it's what I like. Most of it is from I'd say the bulk of it is from the 60s and 70s, but I have one really old piece, and then I have a couple of newer ones too that are probably 90s, maybe even 2000s.
Yeah, it looks good. You've got a couple guys over in the corner over there.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere you turn. This, I've been told, which I can't confirm, was out of Trader Vic's somewhere. I don't know which one, but the guy that sold it was trying to tell me all about it, but I've never been able to confirm it. But that's what he was told me. So
yeah, look at these guys too. You have a lot of the ones that stand. I only have, I think, one. All the rest of them are masks that I hang on the wall. Mm-hmm. Let's go around the bar and talk about this big guy right here. So this guy, I don't really see big ones like this.
Yeah. It was, again, one of the great things about living in SoCal is you can find this stuff in the wild. And I found this guy at Long Beach Antique Market. Dude, I was like hacksaw.
You had to
lugging him on my shoulder, out of there. Yeah, so it was.
You had to have lost your mind.
Yeah.
Like if I see something like this in the wild, if I see these guys in the wild, I'm excited. But a big one like this, yeah, that I'd have lost my mind. And then you made the frame, I assume.
Yeah. I made all this. The paint of this too. I used paint pens actually to draw the designs, and then this is all rattan splits behind here, and then I ran lighting around there so it kind of lights up. I love that. And then the kind of the through line here is the bar front is the exact same thing.
Nice.
It's all rattan pieces.
That looks like Bahuka.
It is Bahuka, and Halakahiki, Allen, and Robert's Bar were my big inspirations for that.
Love it.
But yeah, so this was probably the hardest thing that Nick and I did. We had a little assembly line where he was making all the cuts with the miter saw. I would sand each individual piece, spray it, and then shoot it into its spot with a brad nailer. So yeah, we had a little assembly line going, and it took, did it take forever.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Because we also didn't plan this. We were winging this design. So, and I give credit to Nick. Nick was like, let's do it this way, let's do it that way.
So you didn't use any photos for reference, you just kind of...
The only photo that I had was a picture of Alan and Robert's place, Halakahiki, that I found on Etsy. That was one of my... weird to say. I had a vision board of what stuff I liked. Okay, this is the kind of stuff, and everybody apes everybody else. In
that's
the
way.
World, so.
Well, just like everybody else did in the back in the day.
Sure. And then I hid Liz and I's initials in the bar. There's an N and an L there.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, I love that. I love those little Easter eggs. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So now, did you take these and nail them in just right into the wall one at a time? Did you put them on a panel?
Nope. Brad nailed into a pony wall. So painted the whole wall black first so that you couldn't see any white between, because there are cracks.
Yeah.
And then Brad nailed them straight in. So there's about 4,000 pinholes in there. But yeah. So,
yeah, well, it's when I did the bamboo around my room, like what you have here.
Yep.
So I used it looks like you did these all one at a time too, right?
Yep, one at a time. Every single one of these is split, blowtorched, clear coat, and then fired into the wall. And then this has the trim has kind of lip that overhangs,
right?
So that you can't see the tops of them either. And then behind all my Lahala is OSB board drilled into the studs.
Yeah.
So that the whole wall all the way around is a stud. So I can hang whatever I want without worrying about do I need drywall anchors or anything like that.
That's a nice trick.
Yeah.
You skinning a room just all in OSB or plywood or something makes it so that you don't have to find studs anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So stuff like this is heavy as hell. It's and no problem whatsoever. This is also one of my favorite pieces.
Love it.
This came out of I met a guy, an old guy that had a booth at the Pasadena like Antique Annex or some, I can't remember the name of it, but he had a bunch of pieces that he was looking to get rid of, and that helped me. I got like 6 big pieces from him, and that helped me build out like a lot of my early P&G stuff. So
I love it. I love it.
And this is from the Sven auction.
Oh, was that one of his?
Hawaii, yeah.
That's one of his. Okay. So real quick about the way that you did this. So the way I did mine was you could buy bamboo fencing that's already pre-wired. And so that's what I did. But because you could see through the gaps, I painted a yellow in between. Like I painted the whole thing like a mustard yellow first, and then I put it up so that when you look through, it actually blends into the bamboo because it's about the same color.
Nice. Yeah. And then obviously I like putting little like shadow boxes and dioramas. So you'll see like
that's a nice touch.
Hidden little skulls there. This is all Trader Vic's stuff, vintage. And then I do the same thing over here with, this is kind of like a Don wall. That's all Don the Beachcomber, ashtrays, swizzles, postcards, menu, one of the coconut mugs from Don's. And then one of the things I really like to do.
That monkey.
So the monkey, the story behind that is I used to work in the music industry, and I managed a bunch of rappers and DJs. And in our artist trailer one time when we were at a festival, this little guy was in the little like welcome basket, and it ended
so
up
cool
making it out of there.
It's so cool.
Something else I like to do, you're looking at it right now, is like hide like pieces I really love where you can like barely see them, where you really have to look. And that's kind of here, the OA Cook Island piece. You'll miss that 9 times out of 10.
I like that tourist tiki too.
Yeah.
Over there, that Hawaiian tourist tiki. Oh, and the little tiki tea.
Yeah.
Lamp pendant.
And then it keeps going up too, yeah. So there's
I love
more
that.
as you go higher.
It's like a true tiki bar where every time you come here, you're gonna notice something you didn't notice before.
So yeah, that's what we say. We say if you notice everything on your first visit, we have not done our job.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I'm going over here.
Yep. Again, more P&G, and then you're gonna see one of my big obsessions over here, and it is vintage Orchids of Hawaii lamps.
Yeah.
So there is, let me see, 1, 2.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, all in this section.
Wow. Where did you find those?
Okay, so this one here and this one here, both shell ones, are out of a place in St. Louis that was called Polynesian World in the 60s. And then that became an Indian restaurant. And then when they sold, they got rid of everything. And there was a guy that I think,
I think I saw this posted online.
Yeah. We made some trades because he was looking for some decor, and we ended up making some trades for some lamps. So I got that one, which it came without a bottom, and I found the original bottom.
Wow.
Unbelievable find. This one is out of, I believe it's out of a Chinese restaurant in, I think, New Hampshire. This was also a trade I made with a guy, Granite Vintage. He is Peter.
Okay.
On Instagram. But yeah, we traded. I've always wanted one of those, the face ones, and now Gregorio's making them. Too. So, and he did a great job, dude. Usually
they look really good. I haven't seen one in person, but I saw the photos, and they look really
incredible.
good. Yeah, they look really good.
I was talking to him. Because obviously it takes time to get the samples and stuff like that. And in the time I was talking to him, because I was fully going to buy one, I found the real one.
Yeah.
And then this is I talked to Bob about this. Bob said that there's not a real way to tell which ones came from OA and which ones came from Sea and Jungle, because he said a lot of the Sea and Jungle ones had the tapa on the bottom when he took over their inventory, and that one doesn't. So he was saying that he thinks this was probably something like that came into Oceanic Arts. I bought it in Whittier, so obviously that probably makes a better case for that, but I don't truly know for sure if it's Orchids or Sea and Jungle.
And you got that one with the fish on it.
And then the one with the fish on it as well. And then, like I told you before, I like to hide cool things like where you can barely see them. There's a Don's drink menu all the way behind, back in the corner, where you can barely see it too.
That's awesome. Wow, and then more Don the Beachcomber stuff here.
Yep. And kahiki, like a kahiki menu. I'm from Ohio, so I definitely wanted to have some, touches of Ohio in here. So I never got to go to the kahiki.
I was about to ask you that next.
Never.
Yeah.
I was too young, and yeah.
God, you have some really good P&G pieces.
Yeah.
I love all the little things you have hidden everywhere.
It's very maximalist. Probably OCD a little bit.
See, I'm OCD myself, and people who have come to the Desert Oasis room say, tiki bars are mostly cluttered, and mine is very orderly.
Yep.
Because I suffer from the same OCD stuff, but mine is modeled after Trader Vic's. They had a P&G wall at the back of one of their restaurants. And it wasn't even the P&G wall that was in Emeryville. It was the one that was in Scottsdale at the Valley Ho before it got torn down. And I went after that look. And, I don't know. I'm kind of like really digging this style right here. So
cool. And then this is my favorite. I mean, obviously everybody knows this. This was something that, like, the minute I was deciding to build a tiki bar, like, that was like, I have to have that. And then I built the same kind of display for that one, with the rattan and the lighting behind it, everything like that.
I love it. Wow, room looks really good.
Thanks. And then this is a 6-band pretzel rattan. And my guy Mike Page he totally restored it and made me some cushions. And he also did this Whitco alligator didn't used to have a cushion, and he made me a faux alligator skin cushion for it.
What do you know about this tiki right here?
I don't know much about this. I bought this from Mike as well. I don't know where it came from. No clue. Totally in the dark about that one. Both of these actually came from Mike in Long Beach. And this one's probably Smoking Tikis or somebody like that. I don't really know for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
Maybe.
And then this one's interesting because
we don't know for sure.
This is definitely Smoking Tikis, but I bought this at Oceanic Arts.
Oh,
so
okay.
He sold they sold these like towards the end, like when I was building.
Oh, and you got one of these guys.
Oh yeah, the United Airlines one.
I don't even have one of those.
Yeah, I found it right before Christmas on eBay. Got a really good deal on it. And
wow.
I found this. When you win a big thrift find, I don't like to celebrate them too much because I've definitely paid through the nose for some of this stuff too.
Yeah.
But this was something where we've all been there. Like somebody had it listed as like a carved bench. Didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like $50. But yeah, it's a Whitco as well.
Yeah, I love it.